How do you feel about the younger homeboys and what they're going through today, and how the older homeboys are looking at their get out?
Yeah, first of all, man, I want to send out a greetings to all my loved ones, man,
Okay.
young and old,
Mm.
and some of my loved ones and comrades, what I'm saying, that just touch bases from behind the walls after like 45 years, 43, 50 years. They out there, man. So it is conceivable. It
Mm.
is a possibility. So I want to give a shout out to Suma, you know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to Mujahid. You know what I'm saying? Uh, some of the soldiers that been behind the walls a long time. Privet Stivia.
Mm.
What was the question?
Okay. So now that being said, man, I know they appreciate hearing that from you. What about the younger homies and their get down in terms of how they're going about this thing, this Hoover criminal as opposed to Hoover Crips? How do you see that? What's you?
Okay, first of all, I love the youngsters, man.
Mm.
I love the younger generation. I was that generation at one time, and so were you.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever knows, man, what's going through the minds or what's weighing into them making the decisions that they make. But if you ask me, how do I feel about it in a nutshell, it would be this, Bub. You know, everything evolves, everything changes, and sometimes things come about that we don't understand, but it's for a good reason. So I don't know what was on the youngsters' mind. It would probably be a better question to eventually ask them. But I will say this, and I got to address my old heads. You got to keep in mind how Hoover came about and evolved and became the juggernaut that it is. It was because of people telling us what we can and can't do, how we should, do our cripping and how we should do our grooving and that whole 9 yards. We're independent, man. We're grown ass men, swinging on the next man nutsack and doing what they want us to do. Even though we were soldiers, all that extra and outside the box type stuff that wasn't, conducive or that didn't make any sense to us, then of course we couldn't go along with that nonsense. Something instinctively inside of us told us, this is not the way to go. So we're gonna have to evolve on our own and do what we need to do, to survive and some shit that makes sense to us as men. Because at the end of the day, we are first men, young and old. And I will say this to my old heads. If you disagree with something that the youngsters do, model the behavior that you want to
Mm.
see in them. It's one thing to sit back and say, look at what they're doing, how they fucking this up and how they fucking that up.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But what are you bringing to the table?
Mm.
A lot of the cats, man, I'm sad to say, they out here humming and bumming, and because the young dudes, man, that navigated their way to the bag, the old heads want to kick back and think that they owe them something for some reason. Yeah, I would agree. It should be a respect thing, but how can you respect something that doesn't respect themselves?
Mm.
So the leadership and the guidance has to be, man, on par with the message that we're sending out. And the message is going to start with that particular individual, man, that's sending the message. Now, on the receiving end, is of course their choice to receive that. And I want to say something to my young heads, though. Treat everybody as an individual. You know what I'm saying? Young Groves, young Crips, you know what I'm saying? Treat everybody as an individual. Because if this person, you don't like their get down, or they representing something that's faulty or disconnected from the message that they're presenting to you, and their behavior is disconnected from that, don't blanket everybody in that category, all the rest of the old heads, because we all don't get down like that. A lot of us have respect for you if you have your respect for yourself as a man. Because if you do that, then you may run it into a bad situation with one of those real dragons, and it may not be a good outcome for you or me or whoever's in that situation.
Mm.
So that would be my message to the young Grooves. Treat everybody as an individual and respect those that respect themselves, but respect yourself first. And when you'll get down and stinking, you see yourself in that mirror every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? If you know something is tilted and leaning to the side, you know what I'm saying? Step it up, man.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm.
Just step it up. That's
Okay.
my answer to that, Bob.
Okay. Appreciate that answer, man. And right quick, while we on this, you mentioned the word groove. There's this conversation about, well, did the Hoovers come from the Hoover Groovers? Did the Hoover Crips come from the Hoover Groovers? These types of questionings, and these
Sure. Let me
people want to
address
know
that
this
if I
answer. Can
may.
you answer that?
Yeah, let me address that if I may.
Thank you.
The Hoovers, you know what I'm saying? And I'm stepping out there on a limb by saying this because I don't have nothing to hide anymore. It was a time that I stood behind the shadows and I didn't step forth and let all these false narratives go by. They done made movies about us. They done made songs about us from their perspective and their narrative that don't even capture the least bit of the dedication and the chalk, more chalk on these streets and urban streets out there on Hoover than Chislehurst. And Chislehurst is a cave made of chalk in London, England, man. You can do your research on that. I cannot, man, sit here, man, and just let all those chalked out bodies, man, you said be disrespected. So I'm just gonna say, man, you know what I mean? Bub, it's a lot of blood and shit went into this, and Hoover evolved from a different components of a lot of different aspects of things. People came from the east, the west. They came from the Hoover Groovers. They came from the Bonzella Crips. They came from all walks of life, man, to join this thing because they seen that it was a particular type of energy taking place, and they wanted to be a part of that. A lot of it was just organic. Yeah, I raised the age. I did raise the age, but it took on a life form of itself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ask me, Joe, did you start A trade? Did you start the Salos? Did you start the four trades? No, I raised the age for Hoover, and Hoover evolved from there. So we didn't even start out as 7-4 Hoover Crips. We just started out as Hoover Crips. And at one point in time, it was always a contemplation that we're going to have to stand on our own because the atmosphere and the universe was starting to dictate that.
Mm.
I can't blame the younger generation, man, for taking that mantle and running with it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But like again, go back to them and ask them what was their mindset at that particular time when they made the shift. But to specifically answer your question, did we come from the Hoover Groovers? We came from a vast component of different elements that made this juggernaut what it was and what it is. And one time, man, we was as like the Roman Empire, dog.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of those times are waning now, though, Big Bub. You see the signs, man. A lot of separations, a lot of turmoil, inner turmoil. You know what I'm saying? And that's Hoover business. But we're gonna get that handled because we're family.
Yes,
At the end of the day, and we just need to sit down and iron out our differences because we all have different ideas and belief systems. Because we're all men, individual men. Mm-hmm. But as together, we are one Hoover unit, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so beautiful, man. Beautiful response to that, and I'm sure that those who had comments regarding that will be satisfied with that response. Beautiful, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Can I interject something because on this side of the wall, man, and you guys know that I'm in here serving time in prison right now with 2 life without sentences and a smorgasbord of other things for good measure, like 25 to life for this and that, how many bullets and the whole 9 yards. You know how they do when you get over there in CCB. You know what I'm saying? They have their way with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I read something in the comments once about somebody mentioned something about a star in the background. And I'm going to have to come off script a little bit with this, bub.
Go ahead.
I'm in prison, motherfucker. You want to take my place? You know what I'm saying? They got room for you. I'll gladly give up my spot for you. You know what I'm saying? So you could tear the stars down or whatever else is represented by this correctional facility. Because I don't own none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm living outside this shit. So whatever you see in the background, this is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it clean with you right now. That's why it's a disconnect, man, with communication, particularly like with the younger generation and the older generation. People come up with idiotic type shit that don't make no sense to people. You know what I'm saying? And how can we groove with that type of thing with somebody coming off the wall to you? With bullshit like that. Anyway, that's my rant for today, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to this truth, this pravda.
Man, beautiful and accepted rant. We accept that with gladly. Let me ask you about Manchester Park, man. What kind of hub was Manchester Park? Was it in the same line of parks as Centinela, St. Andrews, or Sportsman's Park?
Man, Manchester Park, man, is where we sit down, man, and bust the meal wide open. I remember mostly about Manchester Park, to be honest with you, man, as a kid. I think I mentioned in some previous episodes that we had shortcuts that we would take from like Florence, you know what I'm saying? Because as kids, we was a lot of times on Florence. Because I think y'all start calling it in your generation the naked booty, but that spot was always over there. And we little kids could barely look up through the window, peeping in there. And some of them women used to see us and put some extras on it for us. We'd be like, "Oh, did you see? She winked at me, my nigga." Like 6, 7 years old, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Real
Looking
spit.
at that monkey. You know what I'm talking
Real
about?
spit, man.
Yeah. And some of them women in there, man, they had scars on their leg. They was battle tested. But we was like, damn, naked women right here in the hood. But anyway, back on script. Hey, well, so we would take shortcuts coming from that naked booty boys market, you know, heisting a little something to take on the way with us. You know, that was on Florence, down there to Manchester, man, and never touch Hoover or Figueroa till we got down there to Manchester Park, where we camped out, man. I remember the swimming. Man, the swimming, man, just going down there. I didn't really know how to dive off the diving board. The first time I dove off, I think I was like about 6 years old. And hit my head at the bottom of the damn thing. I didn't know you're supposed to swoop your way up when you dive in. Yeah, I went straight down. But Manchester Park was a place, man, where people got together, broke bread. You know, families. It was peaceful. Then when we start, you know, doing our Hoover thing, of course, you know, we had to be on a swivel. You know, after that. But it was a place where we all got together. That's for sure.
Hey, man, so that was the spot to be, man. I know we had we congregated there a lot later on when I came up. That's where we congregated and held most of our gatherings, barbecues or whatnot. You know, we were the first set to start set day. You know,
yes, sir.
7-4 day. Hoover did that first, man. And that's where one of the places we kicked that off at. You know.
That's right.
So yeah, man, this is beautiful, man. I love your energy. So that being said, man, the set was the first set to do the set day thing. Everybody does that now. It's also the same with subsets. You know, Hoover was Hoover, like you said, it started out as Hoover Crips. Now we have from 43rd to 112th, man. You know, there's a lot of homies in between that, man. A lot of loved ones, man. So what's up with that?
Not only that, man, you know, a lot of the loved ones, even though we used to be centered on 74th Street, it was just something about that street, man. Even as kids, man, we was, you know, just situated there. There was like a little hub. But they lived in the 40s, in the 100s. And, you know, we just used to, you know, meet over there. I remember my boy, man, Philip Crowley. He was down there on 43rd. And he came one day, you know, he was one of the stylish little homies, right? Wearing that dude's his leather coat, always sharp, you know, like he was a Mac way back then. He came through one day and said, man, y'all need to come down to the 40s, man. You know, I got a crew down there. He said, we call them Catans, though. I said, Catan? What's that? He said, it's Hoover, Joe. Don't trip on that. But we all ride 10 speeds. I was like, oh, okay.
Catans.
I was feeling some kind of way even back then. Hey, but on that note, though, loved one, the loved ones here behind the walls, man, they wanted me to give a couple of shout outs to people, man. And some of these people that they wanted me to give a shout out has passed on. You're getting a lot of love, bub, behind these walls too, man. For what you're doing, the platform, they believe is positive. It's a few naysayers out there, man, but I mean, what can we do about that? I mean, that's energy also.
We're gonna keep
negative energy. So what I would advise, you know, when I was young, man, and you probably you're gonna cover this subject a little bit later, because I'm here to spread positivity, man, and just tell a story of truth as much as possible. But you probably cover some of the other parts some of the gloomy parts. One of my first tools was unfortunately at an early age, 13 or so, M16. You get what I'm saying? But since then, tools have taken on a different meaning to me. Now I put tools in my toolbox, man, like emotional intelligence, man, self-care.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
take out time to reflect on things.
Right. Right.
I would advise a lot of my old heads, if they want to model what they want the young generation to see, is to put some more tools into your toolbox, man. Your communication skills. It's this website, man, that I tune into. The guy name is Andrew Huberman. Check him out, man, every now and then, man, to find some big word called homeostasis to get some balance in your life, man. But before I go any further into that, man, let me just say this, dog. I'm gonna get these shout outs, and these are some people that's on the list that people in here wanted me to give a shout out to. So if your name is not on the list, it's not no diss or nothing like that. There's nothing negative about this. These are the people that are in here, shoulder to shoulder with me. Can you still see me, bub?
Yes,
Because
sir.
it blanked out over here.
I see you.
Okay, cool. Well, let me get to this list because I don't know if that's a precursor about they're about to shut this thing down.
Okay.
But I'm gonna start at the top of the list, man, from the 11 deuces. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. And some of like I said, some of these people are resting in peace. So we send out our condolences and our love, man, and prayers, man, to them and the remaining families. From that 11 deuce block, man, we got Chicken Ed.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
We got Malt Duck.
Yeah.
We got Bobcat. We got Cue Ball. Rest in peace. I heard about that, man.
Yeah.
From my 107s, man. My Salo group down there, man. Much love down there. Yeah. I go back with the Salos.
Okay.
We'll get into that at another time. But I got on here, man. Devil. Levi, Red, and I got to give a shout out to my guy, man, rest in peace, Moo Moo, and Lil An,
Yeah.
I think you guys used to call him Ani.
Yep.
And he was all blasted and everything before people was really getting touched, what I'm talking about?
Real talk.
Yeah, for sure. But Moo Moo was my guy, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Moo Moo had the heart, man, of like he had the heart of a lion, but he had a kindness to his groove too, And, it was just infectious, man. It would affect us, man, everybody around us, like in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was, he was like the brother that everybody wanted to have. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So rest in peace, Moo.
Right.
So on that 9-4 block, man, we got Eminem, we got Clayboy, Crazy, we got Bowlegs, and we got that looks like Jimmy Boy.
Danny Boy.
Yeah, Danny Boy,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
Okay. Can't read my own writing. Okay. On that 9 deuce block, man, we got Bloodstone, Dopey. We got Monk. We got Red, man. On that 8 tray block, we got Qualls. Smiley, rest in peace, my loved one, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll give a shout out to Lil Bam out there too, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
right quick, Joe. Let me hit you this. Let's send a shout out to Ed Qualls. Condolences, man, to Ed.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah,
man.
I love, man. We send our condolences, bro.
Yeah, for sure. We do send that out.
Yeah.
PT, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, another good
off
deal.
that same block.
Yeah.
Off that 7-4 block. 7-4.
Yeah.
Now I got to put some extras on there, man. You know what I'm saying? Battle.
Yeah.
K-Dub. Sims, Tony Sims, Tony Stacy, Hola Ray.
Man.
I got to give a shout out to Big Bubbles, too, man. What's up with you, loved one?
Hey, man.
I see you, man.
Man.
Yeah. Let's go to the 5-9, man. Devil, Sniper Rat.
Yeah.
Ricochet, man.
Yeah, Ricochet.
Big Rat.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
I got to give a shout out to these youngsters, man, because they was doing their thing. I was kind of like low key when I was in that county for 5.5 years.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I was going through this trial situation, man. How they framed me with this situation here.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got the information on that. But there's some of the little grooves, man. I was like checking them out, man. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like from an esoteric standpoint.
Yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to my boy 9 Boy, man, and Crip Style.
Okay.
I was in there doing this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? He was doing his thing, man. The boy had gloves on him, youngster.
Oh, he had hands.
Yeah, a couple of hands with him. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They got a little heated in there in a couple of situations, and you know I go in there, them county tanks, man.
Right.
You know, one bus come in, you know, it's this kind of thing going down, and then shit, the next bus come through, that damn thing just shifted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it shifted against the grooves, you know, because everybody was like, you know, had a problem with us.
Right.
Step in a couple of times, man, just balance things out.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it was all great. Yeah. So 5 deuces, man. Fish.
Yeah.
Bosco. You know what I'm talking about? Buddha.
Yeah.
Big Coke Dog, man.
Yeah.
Shamrock.
Yeah.
And Dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? And Feeling Mike, man.
Yeah.
So these, if your name wasn't on here, it's no discredit to you. This is the names that some people gave me, man. You know what I'm saying? That we're doing this time. Yeah. And they wanted to give these shouts out.
Hold on, you didn't say the 4 trays. You didn't mention the 4 trays, bro.
What the hell am I doing, man?
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
Yeah, I know you gave all the sets, but where the 4 trays?
Wait a minute. Wait, hold up. Okay, my 4 tray family, man. My bad, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's Feeling Mike on the 4 trays, right?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah.
Judah Bean.
Yeah, there you go.
Joe Baby, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
some
there you
people call
go.
him Joe the Boss, you know what I'm talking about? Black, 8 Ball, and Landlord.
There you go.
What Landlord doing down there, man? Collecting that rent or something?
Yeah, I actually he was collecting. He was collecting something. He collecting like a motherfucker, man, when he was doing his thing. For sure.
Okay.
For
hey,
sure.
But look here, man. Like I said, man, if your name wasn't on there, loved one, these are the names that there's people that, you know, I'm shoulder to shoulder with behind these walls. And they just want to give them shouts out, man.
Man.
Okay.
Man, I know, man. Those that heard it and know where you're coming from, they're gonna appreciate that. They're gonna appreciate that, man. Yeah, hey Joe. And speaking about, sending out condolences to loved ones, man. You know, who are going through some things, losing loved ones. There was a mention of an individual, man, reputable dude from back in the day, Barefoot Pookie. He recently passed, man. You know this guy? Is his name familiar to you?
Yeah, definitely, man. Everybody knew Barefoot Pookie, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
In fact, I think we ran across each other, several times. He might have been a little bit older than me, but I can tell you something that I did glean from Barefoot Pookie, because they say he had, some handles on him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's pretty good with the gloves, right? But I was wondering, what was the barefootness about? I mean, what was that all about?
Right.
So I took off my shoes one day, man, just thinking about him in that context, and was squabbling, and man, that gave me a little more traction. So from that point on, and we had to take a lot of fades back then, man, because we was just Crips, right?
Yeah.
So it was on site with every Damu set, and so every time we ran into one anywhere, juvenile hall, anywhere, it was like, it was on. And I just remember, since I'd heard about it, oh boy, I used to take my shoes off and that gave me a lot more traction. That's what I do remember about him. But I heard he passed recently, man. I sent my condolences to him and to his family and his loved ones,
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, same here, man. We send our condolences, man, to another legend, man.
Absolutely.
Our condolences to his family and loved ones, man. So also, man, and mention, man, we got another OG who's still with us, man. OG Cutes. You know that name?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Name. I don't know if I ever met him personally, but at the time, it was all Crip love, man. So we didn't have no punk or nothing like that. And what about him?
Oh, nothing, man. This is just another face, a reputable, from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? For me, and I'm going to be real brief. I pay homage, man. I pay homage to G's, man. Solid cats, man. I don't care where they from. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to disrespect a G who has, foundation in his shit, man. So just in passing, man, he's a popular guy.
What's the value in that, though, man? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, hating on the next man. That seems kind of gay to me.
Yeah.
But I tell you this thing though. When it comes to 6-0s and everything, man, I seen a little thing that they put together. I don't know if that was it was interesting. I seen them doing their thing over there. But so far as cutes, man, I heard the name and just like you just said, it was always associated with something reputable. So
okay,
big ups to him and his family, man. That's all I
right,
can
right,
say.
right. So the thing you was talking about they put together over there, what was that about? Was Crip Love?
I thought I seen some kind of video footage that they was doing. Talking about how they got started with different things, and I think it was centered around was that Nipsey Hussle?
Okay, yeah, he's from over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was a project. In
yeah,
here, man, unless we on that blammer, we don't get
yeah.
too
You
much.
don't, yeah.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get too much content. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was about. Anyway, though,
Okay,
loved one.
yeah.
You know what I wanted to say though, man. And it's something just a segue and piggyback on what you just said.
Mm.
It's about that's how I live my life though, bub.
Okay.
Giving respect where respect is due. I don't give a shit where you from, man. Do you know how many Dom moves, man, that I got love for, that got love for me right now, today? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about some of the old heads.
Okay.
And we didn't took fades with each
Okay.
other, the whole
Right.
9 yards. But
Right.
I mean, it's still within my communication network.
Okay.
This one cat, every time we used to see each other, man, his name was Kool-Aid. He was an old school Brim.
Okay.
People always say, if they see run into a reputable, he always say, get Joe a what's up, and I say, give him a what's up back too, man.
Okay.
Because me and that kid used to go at it in juvenile hall, man.
Man.
He was a big old kid too, man. We used to make it interesting.
Okay. Hey, so and this is you guys came up that way, man. And that's what it was at this stage of your life. As well, I can't speak for him, but you can speak for you.
Right.
You look back on that, and you just spoke on how you saw that, but give me a little bit more of that, man.
It was just a respect thing.
Yeah.
We ran each other, ran into each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Crip. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's a blood. You know what I'm saying? We got to do this. And in fact, it was crazy because sometimes we have a conversation about, our family members, because some of them knew some of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go with such and such and such over there. They went to John Muir.
Right.
And that's your cousin's name, Pat. And we get to talking about that. Yeah, man. And I said, yeah, man, Pat's mom was such and such and such. That's a blood that I'm talking to, right? Back in the day. I know baby's mom over there. She was right over there off of 50-something, right? I was like, yeah. And when we finished that, they say, okay, man, let's get this fade out the way then, man.
Hey, that's rich, man. That's rich. Hey.
So we still got to do this, though.
Yeah. That
went on our way,
Yeah, that story reminds me of what you just shared me. Devil from 7-4 and BJ from Bounty Hunters. They had this same exchange, and you know what I mean. Oh man, that's rich, man. That's rich.
Yeah. Speaking of Bounty Hunters, man, we had a lot of love for the Bounty Hunters, man.
Yeah.
Back in the day when me and BJ, man, you're probably gonna have Billy Jack on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, this is public knowledge. We're not shooting any grandiosity, and we're not glorifying anything, particularly when people expired or pass away. But it was the first time we went up on that first hot one when I was like 15 or 16.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We ran into Gary Barker, some of the Barkers. And I mean, them dudes was cool, man. I mean, they was some cool dudes, man. We got our little issue out the way, and after that, we used to kick it. Because, one time, when you do it one time in the tank, juvenile hall tank, when you see them again, you don't have to tread over that no more. We done got that fade out the way.
Okay.
And after that, you find that some of them dudes, man, was just like us, Bub.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had love for their families. They wanted to navigate their way to the bag, build a bag up, and
that's
the whole 9 yards.
That's right.
I got love for reputables, man, no matter where they're from or where they at.
Okay.
Or who they are.
Now that said,
that's another story.
Yeah. So that said, and speaking in terms of bounty hunters, I take it that it was the same with swans.
Oh yeah, no question.
Yeah.
We all went to Fremont together.
Okay.
And the homies, they didn't want to hang around me, man, because I'm telling you, man, I wasn't the smartest, the sharpest tool in the
You a
toolbox.
shit starter.
I used to, I used to walk around Fremont, man, with the flag in my hat, man,
Oh,
on
wow.
both sides there, Crip here, you know.
Wow.
And that used to draw a lot of attention.
Wow.
They had that Crip here. The females used to get on me, man, in the hallways, like Bounty Hunt here, Swan here, Walnut here.
Right.
And they was like, man, Joe, don't wear that hat today. It's like, fuck that, man. Crip
Yeah.
here, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Did-
I want
did-
it to be known.
Did that apply also at Bethune Junior High? Was that with the Swans at Bethune as well?
I don't remember too much of them being there. They could have been, but
Yeah.
what stands out in my mind, man, which my thoughts are like fleeting sometimes.
Okay.
bub.
Okay.
But I do remember a very pronounced amount of them at Fremont. I
Okay,
do
right.
remember that.
Yeah.
Because they used to be up against the cafeteria over there. And I'll let Tony Sales tell you about that story. He said,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
one
yeah.
time they got on us and we had to get over the fence in a hurry, and they was on us, man. He said, I dropped my hat.
Dropped
but
the
I
hat.
clamped back down, dropped my hat, clamped down the fence to get my hat. Oh, man.
Wow,
That's
man.
crazy. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, see, this is gold, man. This is what I'm talking about. See, because we're having a discussion about a lifestyle, a culture. Right. You know, in a lot of respects, it was negative. But if you can extract, because we're laughing right now about this stuff, man.
Sure. I mean, they was doing it.
Come on, man. Come on, man. This is all right, man. It's all right, man.
I got some partners, man, from the Swans over there now, man. I mean, we good,
Oh, yeah?
They was just doing their thing, and we was doing our thing,
Yeah.
and, all that, man.
And so you still communicate with a lot of blood partners and shit, right?
Yeah, right now, man, I want to give a shout out, man, to China, man, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He did like 40-some years,
Whoa.
man. Man, he out there now. There's a few dumb moves out there, man. There's, doing their thing. And when we covered the part about the inside the prison, yeah, man, we was shoulder to shoulder up in San Quentin because we had to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that told me a lot about how they was built, and they found out about how we was built.
Right.
And so did those outside elements found out how we was
you
built.
were built.
And we don't have to mention no names. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You already know what the
come on, man.
prevailing element was then.
Yeah.
Shit.
No.
We mid, though.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Okay. We'll get there, though.
Yeah. Hey, so, that's something else, man. Just hearing the history from, from the dragon's mouth. And that would be not just, you're one of many.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And we would like to get that, man, just uncut, not watered down, just, in a way that's respectful.
Right.
As much as it is informative and enlightening in terms of the culture back then. So, man, just to hear you talk about that relationship, because that's what it was. Yeah, no matter how people want to, designate it, it was a relationship, man. You had a relationship with these cats, man.
Yes, definitely.
Speak to that. Yeah.
We had the relationship, man, was authentic. I mean, it's like this, bub. If you're doing your thing and you're reputable and you represent yours, I can do nothing but give you respect, and people return that respect.
Yeah.
It was when people threw like a little shade and slime and little bullshit in the game. That's when communication went awry, and it had to be definite responses to that. Very definitive responses, and you can put the puzzle together on that.
Okay. And I just want to throw this out there right quick, a disclaimer. As far as OG Cutes go, I don't personally know where OG Cutes was from, who he ran with or whatnot, but what I do know, he's highly spoken of and respected. You know what I mean? So we salute him. All respect. You know what I mean?
Okay, for
sure. This brother's a stumped down dude. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to put that out there, man. Hey, man, this
send him some Hoover love.
That's what it is, man. That's Hoover love to OG Cutes, man, for sure. You know what I mean? Oh, man, this thing is deep, man, and it's deep to the point where it's a little broader than how we present it. This Hoover, but it's a little bit broader than that, man. I suspect. So You know, let's discuss those. Yeah, every day, man.
And that's on everything. I used to kick it on the sidewalks. When mama ran the 608, pop name Hall of Fame. Taught me how to situate. Oh, that's Hoover, oldest son. Mama needs the only son. Everywhere I go, I shine. I feel like the golden sun. Yeah. We already made it. The partners are majors. The lifestyle is cranking. I feel like the greatest. Ain't my creation. This ain't no joker. You playing with ace. Show me I already made it. Yeah. The connection is sacred. Listen to naked. Respect my relation. And don't hide behind me. Just stay on your page. We ain't stressing. We good. Yeah. We gon' make it out the hood. For the rich that we